So it's been a really long time since I've done a live, and so you guys aren't used to it anymore, and I'm sorry about that. But I have a lot of things that I want to tell you, and so if you come on or you come after the fact, that's fine too. But the first thing that I wanted to do was I just wanted to thank everybody who supports me. I just recently got to 1,000 subscribers, so thank you so much. That is definitely something I couldn't have done without you, and I'm just so happy about that. I don't have the view time yet, but it'll come. It'll come. Cleaning channels are kind of boring, but people come when they need something. That's okay. That's okay. The view time will come up. So I wanted to just make sure that everybody knows that I'm really super grateful for that, and just say thank you. I can't say thank you enough. So that's the first thing. And then the other thing I wanted to say was and this is maybe a little late, but I wanted to let the channels that I follow that are family channels and have had their comments disabled, I just want to give them a little encouragement and let them know that I'm still supporting them. I can give you a like. I wish I could leave comments, but you know, there's a reason why YouTube did that, and I understand, but it might be hard for some of those channels, especially the ones who haven't really met their goals yet. Maybe they're feeling a little discouraged because they're not getting the feedback from the comments that they had been getting in the past. So I'm sorry about that, but I just wanted to let you know that I know I'm still supporting a lot of those channels, and you know, uh, and I'm sure that there are other people who are too, and we don't want anything to happen to our children, so we understand why YouTube made that decision. I just hope that they come up with something soon so that those type of channels can get their comments back, or some kind of verbal, not verbal, but you know what I'm saying, some kind of words that we can pass on to those channels and just let them know that we appreciate them. Um, so I wanted to put that out there. But anyway, I've had a crazy week. So I have a couple videos on this channel about eBay, but um, it kind of goes along with cleaning, but not really, because what's happened is um, I've actually started another channel specifically for my eBay business. So that's House of Azadi. There's my shameless plug. um, so yeah, I started that one, but that's not really what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk in general about how you know it's been an ordeal for me to get to this point, and I'm not even where I want to be. Like I said, my view time still isn't getting me to the monetization status yet, which is okay, but well, the thing that made me think of this, my cousin, I have a cousin, and he posted just yesterday on a live feed on his Facebook channel. He was at some kind of seminar or something, and they asked him, "What's your big why?" And he was thinking and thinking and thinking, and was having trouble coming up with a big why that wasn't cliche. Like, I want to help people, which I like helping people. It's kind of part of who I am. I'm a servant. I really am a servant. So that's why I have a cleaning business, and I've always been in service type of businesses. But I want to change the world and all these cliche things of what his big why is, and he couldn't come up with anything, and he really racked his brain. And the person said to him, maybe your why is the process. And I was like, yes, like that is my other thing besides helping people. I like the process. So for me and Miss Jenny's Cleaning, my business is only 3 years old. Yay, because I've made it past the halfway point. So I'm building that, and I've been building this channel, and I gotta say, not everybody understands what I'm doing. So there's always people who are going to tell you why are you can't do this, or and there's always a reason why. You're too old, you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're a woman, you're a man. Unless it's something that is biologically impossible, because I can never be a father, and all you guys out there could never be a mother, but we could still be parents. But I'm not gonna sprout wings and fly, but I can get on an airplane and fly. You know what I'm saying? And maybe somebody else has another idea of a way of flying, but I don't. But what I'm trying to say is, it's not too late. It's never too late. I'm over 50, packed up my stuff, fit it all into a car, moved from Maryland to Georgia, which I love it here, and started a business. And I know nobody in this, well, I do now, but I didn't when I moved here. I didn't know anybody. So to a lot of people back home, they thought I was crazy. What has gotten into my head? But it was something that I wanted to do, and I have reasons for it besides just wanting to start a business. One of which is the weather. That's a big one, and it's one of the most obvious ones. We have a very short winter down here, and it's usually pretty mild. But yeah, so there's a lot of people, and even here, within this business, I don't get a paycheck, so there's up and down times. And if you've been following me for any length of time, a year and a half ago, we had a terrible car accident and it totaled our van. And that hurt my business. That was 1 month before Christmas. Now, you tell somebody that you can't clean their house a month before Christmas, they're going to go find somebody else. So that hurt my business too. But I don't know what that noise was. There's always an up and down, and when you're in charge of your own life, you're also responsible for this ebb and flow of things that happen, the catastrophes and the successes. So there's always somebody who's going to tell you can't do it, or you're wasting your time. And even after this accident that I had people say, well, why don't you go down to Kroger's? It's like a half a mile from my house. Why don't you go to Kroger's and get a job there? And I'm like, so if I can get 40 hours at Kroger's, I'll make $400 a week, okay, and I can make $400 in 2 days if my business is not being affected by crazy people running us off the road. You see what I'm saying? So I didn't listen to what people were saying. I didn't let them get me down. Even so something horrible had happened, I just didn't let people tell me how to live my life and how to run my business. So, excuse me, I'm so sorry. It's never too late. It's always going to be a journey, and it's, you're going to run across hard times just like the easy times. So that brings me to what's been going on this week. So I have this YouTube channel, and when I do my advertising, of course, I put the YouTube channel in it, and I've gotten 2 customers who have looked on the channel, so they know what I look like when I get to their house, and they know that, at least from what they can see on the videos, even though they're not, top of the line videos, my videos are very amateur, but I'm getting some credibility because I'm showing how to do things, and I'm showing work that I've done. So it actually is a very good marketing tool for the actual Miss Jenny's Cleaning, the part of that business where I go out and I clean for other people. So that was one really cool thing that happened specifically with the YouTube channel. Another thing that happened was, okay, I'm going to give my announcement now because I can't hold my tongue any longer. About 2 weeks ago, I got a message on my video about cleaning vacuum cleaner filters from a company, and they asked me if I would review their product. So I was like, that's new. And I had to find the comment. It didn't just show up. It was in one of those held for review settings that I had in my my studio, my YouTube studio. So I went to their website, and I sent them an email through their website, and let them know that yes, I got their comment and I'm interested, and I gave them my phone number, and the guy called me. He really called me, and it's from a company in England. So on my caller ID on my phone, I get United Kingdom. Like, I don't talk to people overseas, right? So that he called me, and they have this product that they're trying to open up the market in the see, I'm just so tickled. I can't believe that they did this. they want to reach out to the United States market, and they asked me if I would do a review, and I said yes, of course, you know, and I was just gushing because I was so flattered. And can you guys say hi? I don't know who's watching. I can see that 2 people are watching, but if you just say hi so I know who you are. Anyway, so they're gonna send me the product. I'm still waiting for that. And he talked to me about paying me for it, and I was like, I can't believe, you know, I can't believe you're actually gonna pay me for this. And they did. I gave them my PayPal information, and the money's there. I'm just waiting for the product. So it's totally legitimate, and I can't wait. So that's a video that's gonna be coming out soon, and that's so exciting. Like, I've got my first sponsored video coming up, and I didn't really do anything except what I do on my YouTube channel. I just did my videos and didn't really worry about anything, and didn't, you know, I try to make my videos better every time. I don't always succeed, but you know, I didn't really worry that my channel isn't as, you know, professional looking as, say, like Melissa from Clean Your Space. I mean, her videos are awesome. Hey, Michael, there you are. Hey, I haven't talked to you in a while. How are you doing? Did you hear that? I got a sponsor. I am gonna have a sponsored video. I can't believe it. So anyway, you know, I just do what I do. So that's my big announcement, and there will be a video coming out about that. But to go back to what I was saying about the journey, so I had mentioned that I have this eBay channel, and thank you so much, Michael. And I've decided, thank you. I just can't believe, can you believe that? I mean, that's amazing. Michael says he's happy for me. And Michael and I have been YouTube friends like for over a year now, since the Adpocalypse thing happened. It's Michael, I don't know if I say his last name right, but it's Muro, M-U-R-O. He does the animation. He does like Pac-Man people and some really cool things. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, so I decided to get serious about the eBay sales. I was just dabbling in it last summer, and you know, it gave me a little pocket money and, you know, gas money if I needed it, that kind of thing. But I wasn't making bank. I'm still not making bank, but you know, I decided to do that. So and that's why I started the other channel, was to kind of make myself accountable. So I started telling people, my friends and my customers, and you can't really see, but this is my part of the house. I live in this house, and I live in a little tiny part of this house. It's about the size of a garage. It's small, it's very small, and right now I have about 100 items, well, I'm a little behind, but I'm basically 100 items actively listed, plus things I have to list, plus things that haven't sold. So I've got stuff everywhere, and I'm only going to be able to house it here for so long, and then I'm going to have to figure something out. So I was telling a customer that I have, and we've become kind of friends, you know, but he has a garage that he keeps his business stuff in, and I clean it for him about once a month, you know. And so I'm telling him about it, and he's like, well, why don't you get a storage container? Or, no, that's not what he said, a shipping container, one of those things that they pull around on the back of tractor trailers. And I'm like, huh, that's an idea. And I thought, well, I wonder if Janice is the lady that owns the house, if she'd let me put one of those things on the property. And he could see my wheels in my brain turning, and he's like, no, put it here at the garage. And I was like, okay. And he was telling me, like, he'll let me hook up to his internet, and you know, we talked about where I can do my photography, and we talked about the price of the containers, which they're pretty cheap, actually, relatively cheap, I guess. It's about $2,000 for a used shipping container that, when I did the research, they're weather worthy. It means that if it rains, it's not going to rain inside of it. Rain and wind, basically, water and wind is what it keeps out. So you know, we talked about that, and he said he would charge me really cheap rent. And then he's like, well, what I'll do is, and this is perfect, he said, the rent that he charges is for me to clean the garage, which I'm already doing, to pay for my space there and using the whatever utilities that I need to use to run the business. And he's right, when it gets to that point, it will get that business out of my home so my home can be my home, because I'm a bad girl and I work till I go to sleep, and that's not really a good healthy work-life balance. So not that I'm complaining, I'm just saying I have bad habits. So that was like Monday, and then no, that was Tuesday. Monday I have a new customer and she does reselling, and I hadn't met her. The first time I cleaned for her, well, it was her husband. I cleaned for her husband, so I had just briefly met her when she came home and I was leaving. So anyway, she was there this past Monday, and I got to talk to her a lot, you know, about what I'm doing, and we had a lot of other things, conversations, but we did a lot of note comparing, you know. In other words, she wasn't hiding secrets from me, I wasn't hiding secrets from her. So, you know, we live close to each other, so we were talking about good places to shop, and she told me about some of her places, and I told her about this little shop up here that I use a lot, and I even gave her something that I had to give her a discount, so she decides to go, you know. So we did that, and we talked about different ways that we do our photography and things like that. So I learned some things from her, and she learned some things from me, and that was kind of cool, you know, because there was no competitiveness between us, you know. She's going to do good whether I withhold secrets or not, and I'm going to do well whether she withholds secrets. So that was kind of cool, and I made a new friend who's doing the same thing that I'm doing. So there was that. And then, now this is crazy. Where I live, a lot of the people who do this reselling thing, they go to bin sales, what they call Goodwill bin sales. Well, there's no Goodwill bins in Georgia. The closest one is like 3 hours away, and you know, I don't have time to drive 3 hours away. But I've heard some horror stories about it anyway. But there is a place near me. It's called Park Avenue. There's a Park Avenue Thrift, and then they have the Park Avenue outlets. And so every day of the week, starting on Thursdays, the price goes down a little bit, and then by the time you get to Wednesday, they're only open half a day, and everything's a quarter. So normally I can't get there on Wednesday, but this Wednesday I thought I could get there anyway. So I show up. I was going to go at 7 o'clock so that I'd be like the first person in line, so I could get a cart and go in and do, because I figured it would be a madhouse. You know, I pull up at 7 o'clock, and they're actually open, which is, I don't know why. They were open an hour early. People were already in there. So I go in, and I could get a cart. It wasn't crowded. And you know, there's nothing organized about the place. They just throw everything on the racks. Everything's a mismatch. You might be looking at jeans for like 5 pieces, and then a sweatshirt, and then child's clothes, and all this craziness back and forth. There is no order to it at all. There's stuff on the floors. It's chaotic enough for me anyway. But I find my little spot that I want to start looking for stuff, and I'm flipping my hangers, you know, and I'm working for one end, and I'm going down, and I'm minding my own business and flipping. And this lady who's on this side of me, she's over there doing her thing, and I figure by the time I get, you know, into her space or whatever, I'll just go someplace else if she doesn't move along fast enough. Well, she decides to come around on this side of me. No problem, except she shoves, and I mean shoves, the rack, so that my place where I'm flipping closes up completely. And I'm like, so I pushed it back, and she pushed it again, and I pushed it back, and I thought, she's doing this on purpose. So the last time I pushed it, I kind of leaned up against because I was going to say something, and I don't normally, but come on now, don't be rude, you know. So I just leaned up against the rail. So if she pushed it again, she'd be pushing it into my back. Well, she kind of got the message, walked away for a while. So I went, you know, as far as I wanted to go, and decided on that particular row, and decided to go to another row. And she followed me. Like, she did this like 3 or 4 times around the store, you know. So I thought that was weird, but she didn't like start pushing, you know. She didn't do anything aggressive. She just kind of walked up close behind me, and she's humming, and I don't know, it's just so weird. So finally I decided I'm gonna get in line. Now let me tell you, I had a lot of stuff in my cart, but I didn't have the mountain of stuff that a lot of these people were buying. And I'm telling you, they had their stuff in their cart piled up so you couldn't even see over it, and then shoved underneath everywhere. This was like something from Dr. Seuss. I swear to God, they were just pulling all this stuff off the racks. I don't even know if they were looking at it, because a lot of it's not good stuff, really. It's very badly worn or torn or whatever. You have to pick and choose what you're gonna buy. So anyway, I'm waiting for the man who's ahead of me. He had a lot of things, and the line is getting longer and longer and longer, because by now it's like maybe 8:30. So people have already started to, want to check out, and more people are coming in because that's what time they were supposed to open. So she's in line kind of far back, from me. Don't you know that woman walked up and was like checking out my cart? I don't know. It was just so strange. I've never had anybody stalk me like that before. And I just kind of looked at her again, and she went back, but it was just the weirdest thing. So what I did after I left there, in this shopping center, there was a Dollar General store and a Coin Laundry, a laundromat. So I decided, because I don't know where these clothes have been. I mean, everything looked fairly clean that I personally picked out, but I don't know where they've come from or who's had them before. And it's not like a boutique-y kind of place. It's not at all. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to take this stuff and I'm going to go to that laundromat before I even get it back to my house, because I don't want, bed bugs and weird stuff like that. That's what I was my concern is that I'd be bringing insects into my house that I don't want. So I go and I get some detergent, and I go over to the laundromat, and I'm washing my clothes, and I'm folding them up, and I even bought some bags so that I could bag them up, and then when I get home, throughout the week, I had time scheduled that I wanted to photograph everything and get it listed. And then I looked at my phone, and I get a message from one of my customers. Jenny, are you coming today? Oh my God. I never do this, but on this particular day, I did not write this customer in my schedule book. So it was about 9:30 now, and I called her. I was like, yes, I'm coming. I'm going to be a little late, but I can come. So I finished up there real quick. Thank God I was almost done. And she didn't live far from there, so that was good. So I got over to her house, and I confessed to her what I was doing. I figured I should be honest and just tell her about my eBay business and what I was doing, and sorry, I forgot. So, she's a very nice lady. She's like, oh, that's okay. I said, do you want to see what I got? And I told her I got everything for like a quarter. And so I spent less than $8 including tax, and I had a laundry basket full of clothes. So she's like, sure. So thankfully I had folded everything and had it all bagged up. So she comes out to my truck and she's looking through it. Don't you know that woman bought from me? She bought, and I didn't even know what to charge her. I hadn't even done my research yet, but I gave her a ridiculously low price because I was late, and technically I shouldn't have done that to her. So I gave her a really low price. So I made sold 3 items before I even got home to unbag everything, really. So I told her about that, and I cleaned her house and so on and so forth. So it's just, that's the way it's been this week. And then people here think I'm crazy. I'm surprised somebody hasn't come around and looked to find out if I'm talking to myself again. Hey. But that's what they've been thinking, because I've been trying to record as much as I can and get these videos out. And now with 2 channels, it's like double the work. Plus doing this eBay business, plus I'm in my busy season right now for cleaning as well. People are moving, school's getting out, and on top of my regular, reoccurring customers, I'm getting calls all the time for, for people to help them move. And I have no time for anything anymore, so. But that's okay. That is not complaining. That's what I was talking about earlier about the journey. It's good to get to this point. I know that sooner or later some of this is going to drop off. Yes, Michael, I have 2 channels. Actually, I have 3 channels now. I have Miss Jenny's Cleaning, where you're watching me now. I have one called JJ Mom. That one I don't put a lot of effort into. It's really for my grandchildren, but if you want to hear me read children's stories, you're welcome to go over there or sing silly Princess Pat songs and things like that. There's not a lot of videos on that one, but yeah, so I had that channel. And then I have House of Azadi, A-Z-A-D-I. Azadi is my last name. And that's the eBay channel. So yeah, I have 3 channels. Yeah. And obviously this one's very, very important because Miss Jenny's Cleaning really, honestly, is what keeps that roof right above that wall over my head and keeps me chubby. So that one's, you know, even though the YouTube channel isn't making money, indirectly it's helping me with my marketing for the actual cleaning business. So this one's the #1 channel. It's the most important one right now. But soon, the House of Azadi, the eBay channel, is going to be just as important as this channel. So you're more than welcome to go over there and subscribe to I'm shameless, aren't I? Shameless. You're more than welcome to go over and subscribe to any of my channels. Yeah. But yeah, the process. It's about the process. So I've seen a lot of growth and had a lot of validation this week, even with that crazy ordeal with the woman in the store. So sorry. I was sneezing earlier. Springtime in Georgia. Anyway, yes, you know, don't get discouraged. Go ahead and tell people about what you're doing. Tell them about your channels. Tell them about your business. Tell them about your projects. Tell them about the things that you want to do. People will help you. They just will. Like, you know, people tell other people about my cleaning business because they want to help me. And then my cleaning customers, when I tell them I have an online store, you know, they start giving me things to sell. Some of it I can't sell. I had a lady give me a bunch of t-shirts for like, you know, field day at Parkview Middle School, you know, and I can't sell that, okay? I really can't sell that kind of stuff. But some people are giving me nice clothing, really nice clothing, you know, for nothing. And that's kind of how it all started. I had a customer who, he cleaned out his closet. He had a mountain of clothes on his bed. He wanted me to bag it all up so he could donate. And I was like, I'll take it. And I told him what I was doing. You know, I didn't lie about it. I said, maybe I'll sell some of it. And what I don't sell, I'm going to give to somebody who, you know, she does, well, her and her husband do a lot of support for veterans and for women in crisis. So, you know, they got a lot of the items as well. So, you know, I never lie. It doesn't pay to lie or try to exaggerate what's going on. I just tell the truth, you know, and I tell what I'm doing. I don't care if, you know, my great uncle doesn't approve of me moving to Georgia and cleaning other people's toilets. I can tell you for a fact, I am happy cleaning other people's toilets than I was, and I don't make that kind of money anymore either, but I worked for corporate America for a very long time, and I made really good money, and I was miserable. So, you know, I'll take a little bit less and decide my own future. I don't care. I really don't care. You know, if you don't approve of what I'm doing, that's okay. You know, I know where I'm going, and I'm not hurting anybody. You know, I'm not doing anything illegal. I'm not selling drugs or trafficking people or, you know, doing terrible things that other people do. I'm cleaning people's houses and I'm trying to make their lives easier. So, I don't care. I don't care, because it comes back. Okay, honestly, what you give out, it comes back, and it's come back to me really in the last 6 months over and over and over again. I'll tell you another little story. 6 months ago, I had that big truck. I don't know if you guys have seen any of it. It's in some of the videos and it's on some of my Facebook posts, but I had this truck and the engine blew up in it. Like, why this happens at this time of year, I do not know, but it happened right before Christmas. That is the worst time. So it's at the Walmart. Walmart's like 2 miles from my house. I'm trudging home. I am so upset. I gotta leave my truck in the Walmart parking lot, and I'm walking down the street and I'm all but crying, and everybody's got their lights on, you know, it's nighttime, and I'm just thinking, God, this sucks, you know. So I get home, and the same people who help the veterans, she called me for something. I didn't even call her, and I told her what was going on, and the first thing she says is, why didn't you call? And I'm like, well, I wanted to see how long it would take me to walk, because I might be working at Walmart now, and you know, so she, for the last almost 6 months, the truck I'm driving now, and they also had a PT Cruiser back and forth, they were letting me use their vehicle, so I never went out without a vehicle. I've always had one, and no charge. They didn't even charge me for it, you know, that, so what a blessing that's been. I did buy a vehicle. I'm hoping to get it tagged. It is not a luxury vehicle, but I was able to save money, so I paid cash for it. Not a lot of money, but I paid cash. It's a Mercury Mountaineer. It was a work truck before I got it, which is actually good, because in truth, even though I have a cleaning business, I get filthy when I'm working. Some of the places that I work, I can't even stand the way I smell when I leave. And because I'm taking all the dirt out of somebody's house, I have dirty rags, I have dirty broom, dirty mop, my vacuum cleaner gets dirty. So all that goes into my vehicle, and my vehicle gets filthy. So this work truck is already kind of ugly and beat up. I'm gonna have to figure something with the outside of it because it's old, but I don't have to worry about the inside of it. It's already got paint and, you know, whatever in it, so it's going to be a work truck kind of a thing anyway. So that worked out pretty good, and I should be driving it later this week, and they can have their truck back, and I'll be eternally indebted to these people for helping me. So, but yeah, tell people what's going on, you know, even people who don't understand, because she was one of the ones who told me to go work at Kroger, but when it came down to it, and I really needed help, they helped me more than I could even say, you know. So people will help you. People will help you. Just keep talking. Even the haters, just keep talking. Stay as positive as you can, because it was kind of hard to be positive when I thought, this is it. This is the end of my business, you know. But just stay positive. Keep doing it. Don't, you know, if you're trying to grow your YouTube channel, just do what you can do. I mean, I knew when the adpocalypse came around, everybody was like, at the end of the year, you know, I'm gonna have 1,000 subscribers, and I'm gonna have the 4,000 hours. I knew that wasn't gonna happen for me. I knew it, because I know how my schedule is, so I wanted to stay realistic. That's not really negative. I just knew that I would not have the time to put into, and I didn't have a lot of experience either, so you know, this whole thing's been a learning process for me, and that's kind of cool too, you know, just learning it as you go along, and meeting people like Michael. So he's probably the one that I've gotten closest to through all of this, you know. We've talked on some other chat mediums besides here. So that's kind of cool, you know, and I'm getting to know some other people too. That's cool. Yeah, I know, Michael, you're special. And he lives on the other side of the country. Maybe one day, you know, when we become big professional hotshot YouTubers, we'll go to one of the VidCons or something, and we'll actually get to meet face to face. And hopefully it'll be like in the middle of the country, so he can go halfway and I can go halfway, because I don't really know where they do that. Yeah, so I don't know, you know, the journey's part of it. Of course, yes, of course. I don't know what I'm gonna do. You know, what am I gonna do? Well, the cool thing about, like, I do actually have long-term goals for the eBay store. Wouldn't that be fun, Michael? Wouldn't that be fun? I mean, at least you and I know each other, sort of. But there's other people that I watch sometimes. Like, I'll tell you who I watch regularly. That has nothing to do with me wanting to learn about whatever it is I'm learning about. So I watch Carpetbagger. I don't know if you guys ever watch him. He within the last year has gone full time, and he goes from all these museums. And the other day he went to or the video that I watched last night was that he'd gone to the Salton Sea, which, Michael, do you know where that is? I think it's in California. It was an area that got flooded. He's not a huge YouTuber, but he's getting pretty big. It's the Carpetbagger. His name is Jacob, and he does a lot of stuff with Adam the Woo. And there's another guy that he's been doing stuff recently that I don't know, but I've seen Adam the Woo. Adam the Woo kind of goes to different places too, but the Carpetbagger, he mostly goes, yeah, the Salton Sea. So what happened with the Salton Sea was this area flooded on like a salt flat type area in the desert. And so what they did, this was like in the 50s and 60s, they started building houses and made it like a resort area, right? And they were advertising like water skiing and all this stuff. So people were buying up the property. Well, the problem is because the water was so salty, all the fish started dying. And then it started to stink. And it became, now it's a ghost town. So there's a lot of videos on it showing these abandoned buildings and cars that now are just encrusted in salt and how much damage the salt has done over time, and talks about how all the nasty smell from the dead fish and all that. So he went there, and now this weird thing is happening. So a lot of the abandoned buildings have been turned into like museums, but they're weird, creepy museums, like, and they have these sculptures made out of trash, you know, and just a lot of weird messages. And some of the buildings are being painted like bright colors but it's just odd art. So anyway, I said I'd probably get a nightmare from that one. But he goes to a lot of interesting places too. He went to the Shroud Museum. He does a lot of Ripley's. The Ripley's Believe It or Not museums. I can't think of anything specific. You know, he's a lot in Pigeon Forge. I don't know. He's done a lot of different things. So I like that channel. His videos are pretty entertaining. I think he does a live session one night a week, but I don't remember what it was. But anyway, yeah, about a year ago he decided to go full-time. In his previous life he was a social worker, and I think he worked for like Child Protective Services or whatever they call it where he lives, but he got out of that, and so that's what he does. So that's one of the channels that I watch. And then I watch Phyllis Stokes. She's like Southern Frugal Cooking or something like that. She's just a Southern lady, and I like the way she talks. And sometimes she does like these old-fashioned recipes, things that we used to eat when I was a kid, and now I think, oh, that's disgusting. But you know, some of the stuff she does, not that she does disgusting food, okay, she doesn't do that, it's just some of the retro recipes aren't that great. But some of the stuff she does, actually most of the stuff she does is pretty good. So I watch her, but she's been sick. And a lot of the other channels I watch are either like probably the same ones a lot of you watch. So I watch Nick Nimmin and Roberto Blake. I really like Roberto Blake, and you know, he's very busy. I've also friended him on I think I friended him on Facebook, and he had done like a personal vlog about some of the things that he struggles with, and he's pretty open about some of the issues that he has, personal issues besides the business side of what he does. So he had said something and it kind of touched me a little bit, so I sent him a private message through Facebook, and it took him a little while, but he got back to me. He's another one I want to meet, and he lives here in Atlanta now. He moved from New York to Atlanta, but I'm not going to stalk him. But I just think that he's a very, very intelligent young man. So I listen to what he has to say. He's smart. I watch Nick Nimmin, Alan Spicer. He's got a lot of good YouTube advice. He's in the UK, and Nick Nimmin, Tim Schmoyer. What's the name of his channel? Video Creators or something like that. He's got a lot of good advice. And financial advice, well, not really financial advice, career advice. So if you need motivation to stay focused on what it is that you want to do, Gary Vaynerchuk is one. I mean, I don't really consider him a financial advisor. What I consider him is somebody kind of like-minded, and he's pretty in your face. He swears a lot, so if you don't like swearing, sorry, he says all kinds of words, so toughen up if you want to listen to his stuff. But he tells his story where he came from. So he's an immigrant from Russia, and then he came here when he was very small. His parents came here. His father had a liquor store. His father worked very, very hard from morning to night. You know, he hardly ever saw his dad when he was younger. And then when he was a teenager, after he had already made a lot of money selling lemonade, selling baseball cards, and all these little things that he did. And he'll tell you he was a horrible student too. But anyway, after he did all that, the father made him start working in the store when he was a young teenager. So now he's sweeping floors and emptying trash and stocking shelves and doing things like that, which, you know, to me, that gives you a good work ethic. But he's obviously got this natural ability, entrepreneur, inborn tendencies, I guess I'll say, because some of the things he said he did when he was a child, you know, like looking for the place where the most cars come by, where they're going to see that telephone pole, and that's where he's going to put his lemonade stand poster, you know, that kind of stuff at 8 years old, and making thousands of dollars over the weekend selling baseball cards, you know, and then barely making minimum wage working for his dad. But anyway, yeah, I like listening to him because he's straightforward, but he's also, you know, he's got good points, like when I was talking about the haters. So stop listening. Now I'm going to say something totally counterintuitive. I'm a mother. I have 3 children. I was also a child and a daughter. So take this with a grain of salt. But if your mom and dad always told you you're no good and you'll never amount to anything and you can't do anything right and all the terrible things that sometimes parents say to their children, get it out of your head. You don't have to listen to that. Get it out of your head. And that's the kind of message he'll give you. And you need to do that. If your parents, that's a terrible thing, you know. And sadly, there's people that have grown up that way. And I did. Honestly, I did. I mean, one of the things that they would say is, this is a terrible thing to say to your kid. I don't know why somebody would say that, but they used to say, well, my mom, she used to say, you can't pour piss. Sorry, and I try not to talk like that on this channel, but you can't pour piss out of a boot with the directions on the heel, which is kind of funny, because if a boot's like this and the foot is here and you look at the heel, that's how, it's a funny thing, but it's not a nice thing to say to your kid, you know. And I knew what the message was. I'm stupid. I can't follow directions, you know. That is not true. Okay, truth be told, that's not true. She should not have said that to me. Because on the flip side of it, even though she was saying that, instead of being a decent leader, you know, here I am in school. Honestly, I had a 3.5 average out of 360 students in my class, and I still remember this because it's counter to what she told me. I was ranked 65 out of 360 students. So I was in the top third of my class. I am not stupid. Okay, I'm not stupid. I'm not a genius, but I'm not stupid. And I know, I get the joke, right? Pouring it out of a boot. I get the joke. But, you know, the damage that was done, I could still be harboring that if I didn't come to the conclusion here that she was the one that was wrong. She's the one that was wrong. In that particular case, that was not good parenting. That was bad parenting. I'm not listening to it. That's why earlier when I started talking, I don't care what people think. I really don't care. I don't. Because of things like that. You know, reality is, she was wrong. And I know she's wrong. You know? And I'm doing what I want to do. And I'm not going to let something like that defeat me. It's not happening. And even the people that are, she's dead, but anyway, the people who are still alive, you know, did I make a mistake moving to Georgia? My car could break down in Maryland too, you know? Like, cars break down. People have car accidents in Maryland. They don't just have car accidents in Georgia, you know? It snows in Maryland, like a lot, okay? That can be a hindrance to a business. Down here we get a lot of rain, sometimes tornadoes, you know, but the sun shines in both states too, you know? And I did my homework before I came here. Remember, I'm not stupid. I looked at the demographics. I looked at what kind of jobs people do down here, what kind of income they have, how much is my competition charging. I did all of that. I started running ads before I moved here. So it wasn't like I woke up and said, I'm gonna move to Georgia today, bye. You know, I planned it out. And people still didn't get it. Like when I handed them the facts, they didn't get it. I don't care. I don't care. So, okay, so I know Michael's here. Who else is here? Can you say hi, please? So I can say hi back? Please, don't be shy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching, because I think I'm about talked out. And keep an eye open for my sponsored video, because I can't wait. And I should be getting that soon. I don't know how long it takes for something to come from London to the East Coast of the United States. I have no idea. And I don't know how they're shipping it either, so I don't know if it's coming by boat or plane. A satellite, maybe they'll beam it to me, but I don't know how long that's going to take. But I'm excited. And let me know either right now while you're watching, or in the comments if you watch later and you make it through all 46 minutes and 39 seconds of this video. Yes, Michael, you and I do need to talk more. But what I want to know right now is, should I do an unboxing when I get it? And should I combine those into two videos? Or one video, or should I do two videos? One with the unboxing saying, stay tuned and I'll do the review on it, or should I just do it all at one time? So I'd like to know what your thoughts are on that. Okay? And I'm really tired. So I'm gonna go in and I'm probably gonna watch Netflix for a little while. Okay? Michael, especially you, Michael, thank you so much. You're probably my biggest supporter, and I know you've listened to me babble on for quite a while through this, so bye.